Another important thing you can do inside BlogToPin to make sure your pins look exactly as you want and you spend as little time as possible on creating them is the image settings. You can do here a few things. First of all, if you need, you can add custom images. I'd go here, I'd go through it in a separate video, but you can do it. Also, you can specify if you want to fetch images from like the page, from like all of this page, or like basically any page. If you want to use hidden images, it's mostly applicable to e-commerce, but on some sites there might be hidden images and you might want to use it. So yeah, just keep a look at it and you might want to turn it off. Another cool thing you can do is you can ignore small width images or small height images. So for instance, if you, I don't know, have like some low quality like thumbnail images or something like this, you can specify that, hey, I don't want to have anything smaller than 600 pixels, and we wouldn't use these images for this because image is pretty high quality. I don't know, probably, oh, it's that big. Okay, it's smaller than 3000 pixels. So if we tell BlogToPin to ignore images that are smaller than 3000 pixels, no images would be used. So yeah, let's keep it as is. Another cool thing we can do is we can specify whether we want to fetch images from featured image. This is also pretty obvious. There are two very good and very interesting features. First of all is use the same image in image only pins only once. It sounds confusing, but let me explain. If we clear all the templates and choose only this one, only image only templates, and upload it into Pinterest, despite the fact that each of the pin would have different title, different description, different alt text, different everything, it's still not really desirable to Pinterest that you're spamming with the same over and over images. So here with this simple setting, you can enable it, and when generating the pins, we would ensure that there is only one image only pin with the same image. Hope it's clear. Another cool thing which we can do is we can ignore images with text overlay. So here for my website, I don't really need it, but if on your website you have like some pins already created which users can pin through your website, you probably don't want those images to be used by BlogToPin, because if you add images with some text overlay into, for instance, this template, it would for sure not look good. You can enable this and BlogToPin will ignore these images. Last setting, which is a very important setting, is showing full image in pins. For some niches, you might want to make sure you use like the full image, show like full image, not cropped, but it will mean that you'd probably have like some blank gaps in the bottom or in the top, wherever. So you can see everywhere there are like now a blank gap. So I prefer to keep it off, but it's up to you. Also, two important things about the images is, first of all, images you don't want to use. So you can see that here BlogToPin already understood that these images probably should not be used because these are not very relevant images to my niche. And also it understood that there are some content sections which should be removed. So for instance, if we go to this recipe page, we can see that there are some kind of sections like this when different authors say something about different recipe ingredients. And it's probably like these images of the authors, they shouldn't be part of the pins. That's why BlogToPin automatically rejected it. But if you want, you can bring them back. And here you can see that some images from this content section are being used. I'd of course remove it. And another thing is here in the more similar recipes to Pina Colada, you can see that there are some suggestions which would probably happen on like every possible page you can imagine on your website. So even if it's not like a food website or like not some default blog or e-commerce, but basically on any e-commerce you have like some list that, hey, you might want to like these items. And if you sell like yellow t-shirt and in your, you may also like there is a blue t-shirt, you shouldn't use blue t-shirt because it's just not what the page is about. So BlogToPin automatically excluded those. And if I disable this setting, you can see what kind of a mess templates instantly got, because there are a lot of irrelevant images. So if you want to, if you can see that there are some images missing, you might want to go through disabled images and disabled content sections here and disable some of them. But probably BlogToPin did everything all right already, so you shouldn't worry. But let's imagine the worst edge case possible is BlogToPin missed this kind of more similar recipes page, and there are a lot of irrelevant images here. It can happen not because of BlogToPin messed up, but also because, for instance, you had one WordPress theme, BlogToPin adjusted to your WordPress theme, but then you migrated to another one and you added this block, for instance, in the bottom. And BlogToPin doesn't understand that something happened here. You can help BlogToPin, go here to images, and for instance, this one, just say, hey, ignore content section. There are two things how you can get rid of the image. You can either remove a single image if we don't like the image at all. For instance, if it's like an image somewhere in header, like our logo, our author page, like comments, something like this, maybe we want to remove the image because we don't want to ever use it. But if we just don't like where this image is taken from, for instance, here it's taken from more similar recipes, we can say, hey, just ignore this content section. We press it, then BlogToPin would go and try to find this content section, and what it would end up with is, for instance, it would not skip this image completely. It would just skip images which are in more similar recipes blog. And if we, for instance, want to generate pins for the daiquiri recipe, we'd have the very same daiquiri image here. It's very useful if you have like a website and there are a lot of dynamic suggestions in place. It's very useful so that you don't need to spend time manually approving or rejecting, adjusting some images. So you can see it found this image section. We can click yes, exclude this section, and here we are back to the normal state. And just to finish this video, if we go and try to generate recipes daiquiri, try to generate pins for this daiquiri page, you will see that the single image is taken and it's taken from the correct place and always working fine. And at the point where you understand that everything looks good, you like the font, you like the prompt, you like the templates, you like images, etc., then you can just go and press specify the details and go to the flow and generate the pins. Here you can see it generated them pretty good. See you in the next video.